Hello again. I thought I would do a follow-up to my other video about creating sci-fi sounds, and in the last video I used a kind of a synthesizer based approach. So this time I'm just going to use a plugin based approach. But before we get into the plugins that I used, I thought I would design some new source material. And so just to kind of recap what I did, I took this synth Cyclop. It generates some unusual sounds, and it is quite gnarly as well. So it has that kind of grit that we're kind of looking for. I took out my friend Rolling Sampler, and I've made a video about that if you don't know what it is. But essentially I'm just recording presets. For the sake of brevity, I could of course go in and start adjusting stuff, processing stuff, but really I'm just kind of trying to open your mind to concepts of how to generate material, and then you yourselves can maybe build on it and refine it as you will. So I'm not going to be going into massive details on layering and how I process stuff. That would effectively be a video all by itself. So to start off, I just a couple of random MIDI notes. There's in an event, and off we go, playing them and moving through the presets. So we'll do that just for a few seconds. Anyway, so that's how we arrived at our material. I'm not even going to save that because I did one that I prepared earlier, which is this stuff here. So that's just to give you a quick idea how you can generate your material, your sound source quickly. And here we go. I've just got a load of stuff. As I said, if I was doing this for myself, I would go through a lot of stuff, tweak presets, make sure that more laser-like at choosing sounds and, adjusting them. So as I said, for brevity, this is just like a load of random stuff that I have made, and just to give you an idea of what you could use to make more sci-fi type interface sounds. So the first one I used here, so I've just picked this Glitch Machines Hysteresis, so is that how you pronounce it? But anyway, I've been using this quite a while. I think this is a legacy product now, and it might be free, but you can check that out. So basically it's a kind of a stutter machine that has, as you see, as a filter, mod effects, stutter, delay, and you can mix it here. We'll just grab a bit of this and see what happens. I'll just run through a few presets and you can see how this, how it sounds. So some results are better than others, of course. And once you produce your material, you will go in and edit these thoroughly. So that's Hysteresis, definitely worth getting. And as I said, I think it might be free. Another Glitch Machines called Fracture XT, and I'm not sure if this is still free. So let's dial it up to 100% wet and see what we get. And as I was saying, this will yield very kind of different results, and a lot of it may not be usable, but you'll definitely get some nuggets of gold in there if you just do your editing and cut out the bits you need. This is Polyverse, and this is their latest Filterverse, great plugin, and they've added several filters to it in its 1.5 iteration. Let's try it out, see what happens. again, it's just a case of fiddling around with these plugins until you get something you want. Permutate, and this is a really cool plugin by Sonic Charge. We'll try another part of this waveform for the crack and see what happens. Oh, brilliant. Again, you just fiddle with it until you get the results you were after. But yeah, I think anything by Sonic Charge is very good. Phase Mistress, it's another good one. I think resonators are great. So anything like with that kind of resonator sound works very well. Let's try something else. You're kind of going down the rabbit hole with some of these plugins. Another one would be Effectrix 2. It can be another interesting program for creating textures and whatnot. It does quite a bit. This one has a lot more granularity. You can really go in and mess about with the effects. And finally, Wormhole, and I really like this as a synaptic wormhole. Probably better for kind of getting ambient textures and sci-fi stuff, etc. But let's give it a go. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite plugins. I should have had it on that list actually that I did, but I forgot. Let's turn it on and see what we get. Okay, so I think that'll do it for this. I'm going to take my sampler in here and take these. I've taken a few of the sounds I generated from Wormhole, and I'm just going to color that green for now. And again, like I did in the other video, we're going to just have a quick the one thing about Wormhole is you may get tails and stuff, so you can of course just get rid of your reverb or whatever. No, that's too bit crushed. That's kind of interesting. Some of them sound a little bit too filtered, so I'm just not going to pick them. I might just increase the volume here a little bit. Yep, I'll have that. So I'm just remember I'm doing this as quick as I kind of can, just for the sake of the tutorial. I would be a lot more, as I said, laser focused on my choice of sounds and kind of processing, etc. There's a kind of a little robotic R2D2 sound. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, we have just these, and there's just a few little sounds that we got, and we could break them up if we wanted. So to make them more button-like in size, you could, I mean, you would process these, of course. If you want, like, you could put a transient shaper on these as well if you wanted that little, like, a front click for a sci-fi button or whatever. So like I said, these are not the best sounds. They're just a quick way to show you of how to generate material using effect plugins, or I just hope it gives you a few ideas. So yeah, that's all for now. And yeah, it'd be great if you could like and share this video if you think it's provided any use at all. And thanks again for joining me. Take care.